and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Hi friends, today I'm going to show you the WikiLeaks Moon Hoax footage. But before we do that, I need to take you through just a few slides, give you a few disclaimers, and just kind of talk about things. So right here we have the lunar lander, all right? And I just want to start with talking about the fact that millions of people believe this thing flew through space and landed on the moon. All right, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. So everything coming out of NASA is Masonic, and we know that Masons are liars because they have to lie to the degrees underneath them, and they have to lie to the profane, anybody outside of the lodge. So you can't trust anything coming from these Masonic liars, Jack Parsons and Werner von Braun, these Nazis, these ex-Nazis. And I've shown this before. This is showing that NASA uses the serpent's tongue. This is an organization of ex-Nazi scientists they brought over from Germany after the war. They didn't punish these people for their crimes. They put them into American universities and hospitals to continue their work as Nazi Satanists, to basically put together what they're putting on the whole world now with COVID. So these liars have been working at this for a long time. So here's the Apollo Lunar Module Wikipedia site, and I just want to show you this thing cost about $2.2 billion adjusted. And this is the best NASA technology from 1969, late 60s to early 70s. So that's as high tech as we get, right? Well, let's take a look at some comparable technology from the time. This is the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, which was a black project, top secret, highly classified defense project that was introduced into operational service in January of 1966, 3 years before this piece of trash supposedly landed on the moon. So let's look at the SR-71. I mean, look at that thing. Look at how awesome that thing looks. Look at how tightly put together, how perfect it looks, how tightly sealed and fitted together it looks. Here's a picture from the 70s. I mean, that thing looks futuristic now in 2021. I mean, that thing's amazing looking. And they didn't just have one, they had a lot of them. So this is what the technology, this is comparable technology of the era. All right, and I want to show you back to the Wikipedia page. These are the records for the SR-71 Blackbird. This thing could fly at 2,100 miles an hour and get across the United States in a little over an hour. So now we need to talk a little bit about the flat Earth, because this, I don't care about this stupid image. This airplane helps prove the flat Earth. There's this thing in geometry called point of tangency. Okay? Any circle or any sphere has tangent lines, lines running perpendicular to a line coming out of the center. Okay? So I'm going to show you a demonstration using 3D objects, using a ball, what they say the Earth looks like, and this is your flight trajectory. This is your flight path. Now, anywhere on this ball that they say is the Earth, anything flying in a straight line is going to come tangent, is going to have a tangent line. See, I'm moving it around, any part of the surface. If the Earth is a ball, any airplane flying has to account for that curvature and tilt its nose down and fly over the curve of the Earth. But if you ask any pilot, what's the angle of declination, the angle of downward tilt or thrust that you need to go at to get over the curve of the Earth, they'll never be able to tell you that. Okay? The correct model of the Earth looks like this. a round disk with an upturned edge. And an airplane flying around east to west is never going to have to angle its nose down to go over the curve of the Earth. So this is how it really works, a flight path. All right? That's point of tangent. Sorry for all that noise there. So now let's take a closer look at the lunar lander. Okay? Look at the fit and finish on this compared to this. I mean, this is like tightly sealed and put together using metal. And this is loosely screwed together or nailed together using pressed cardboard. That's all that is pressed cardboard. And if you've ever worked with this stuff in construction, like I have, and if it ever gets wet, or there's ever a humidity issue, it warps like this. This is just warped cardboard and duct tape and roofing paper. Okay, anybody who's done roofing, been on a roof, knows what this is. It's roofing paper. And copper mylar sheeting, or copper sheeting, copper roofing sheets. This is all roofing materials. And we've got commercial aluminum foil. I mean, there's a video of the astronauts saying that this stuff was so thin they could poke their finger through it. I just can't find that video anymore. If anybody has that video, please put it in the description. Send it to me. Somehow get that to me. I need that. So, and then you've got these foam pads, these foam pipe insulation. You know, these are like pool noodles. Look at them. They didn't bother covering them with the same paper to make them look the same. They didn't even bother. They just threw them on there. Give me a break. If you think this piece of trash flew through space and landed on the moon, your brain doesn't work anymore. I'm sorry to say. You don't know how to think. You just believe whatever the people on TV tell you. Last little bit here. I've got a few of these on my patio where I dry my clothing. That's all this is. That's all these are cheap aluminum rods and plastic fittings to hold them together covered by roofing materials. So now let's talk about Julian Assange, who is the guy who heads WikiLeaks. He's got his own Illuminati card in the Illuminati card game. All right. And if you don't know what the Illuminati card game is, this is Steve Jackson Games, and he created the Illuminati card game. And it's in his card game section, and here it is. Steve Jackson Games. Game of Conspiracy, 2nd edition. So you can buy this game from him, or you can go on eBay and buy the 1994 edition, where a lot of these cards are. The Assange card is part of the original set. So he is a tool of theirs, propped up by them, put into place by them. You can see some of these are very expensive. And he's not the only one with his own Illuminati card. This card came out in the original set, and then they gave him the phrase and the face. And truthers just can't put it together that he's one of them. Because whenever the people need a hero, the Masons supply them. I don't know if Pike said this or not, so I didn't put it in quotes, but that's the truth of it. They give us all of our heroes. So here's Julian Assange throwing up a sign that some of us have seen before. And here's Jeremiah Cohen's Pinterest page exposing the sign of the benediction, the sign of Baphomet, the sign of Satan, the 2 fingers. 2 fingers up, 2 fingers down is as above, so below. And here you see all these satanic sellouts doing it. Every single one of them is a deceiver. Every single one of them is a little Baphomet. They're all little satanic sellouts. All of them. And here's a few more. These are older. This is from ThisProphecy. You know, you've got Kanye. You've got Lady Gaga. You've got Spock. You know, I don't know a lot of these people. Don't care to know them, to be honest. You know, and it always goes back to him, Baphomet, and the Knights Templar. You're going to see that in the next few slides. I'm not going to read all this again because I don't want to extend this intro so long. But it all goes back to the Order of the Knights Templar and Jacques de Molay being martyred for worshiping Baphomet. This is who the Templars worship. This is who the Freemasons worship. This is why you see male to female transgenders propped up in the media. This senator or House representative, I don't know which one he is. You know, he's in government. Then, you know, this is Christopher Moore, who decided to kick apart and destroy a GameStop. I'll show you that video real fast.
We're not doing credit. You're going to give me my money back.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
I told her, excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was just general.
Right beforehand, you f***ing said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Mother, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a f***ing sir.
I apologize.
Mother.
I apologize now.
I need your corporate number. Because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in this store.
I apologize for that.
I need your corporate number now.
I can get it for you like it's not a problem.
Get it for me now.
I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your
Stop
corporate
getting
number.
picture on property.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man. Because quite clearly I am not.
And I apologize. I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I will get you that number. Is that okay?
Yes, get it for me now.
I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
Okay.
Give me the damn number now. Please.
Okay.
Ooh!
Ma'am, I apologize.
Ooh!
I apologize, ma'am.
Yes.
I will get you that number right now.
Okay.
No, you're just going to keep going. You're just going to keep going to disrespecting trans people in this store, which I plan on telling the entire LGBTQ community. You're going to lose money over this. Seriously, I haven't.
Absolutely unhinged and deranged and propped up in the media. And the latest Baphomet we see being propped up in the media is this one, Laurel Hubbard. I can't even find his male name. He's hidden in it away. But what they did is they gave this guy a spot on the Olympics and then told him to fail, he couldn't even pick up the dumbbells, because what they're trying to prove is that trans athletes don't have any advantage, that men competing as women don't have any advantage over those women. And there is a real woman who couldn't go to the Olympics because of this satanic perversion. So don't tell me there's no advantage. And what they're doing is they're marching this in slowly. What you're going to see in the Winter Olympics is you'll see a bronze or a silver medalist. You'll see a trans person win something other than a gold. But by next Summer Olympics, if we're all still here, if the rapture hasn't happened, and I hope it does, then you're going to see a gold medalist in a trans sport, or you're going to see a trans person win a gold medal. So, goes back to Freemasonry, all goes back to the 33rd degree, the Order of the Knights Templar, the top of the ladder. And they even say the Knights Templar are equal in prestige to the 33rd degree. So that's what this is all about. It's all about Baphomet, the Knights Templar, the Freemasons, pushing their agenda, pushing their satanic Baphomet agenda. Here's Crowley with the Baphomet symbol. They all wear it on their hat, on their staves, around their necks. the Grand Sovereign Commander General, wears it on his hat and around his neck. Each one of these guys is a satanic sellout, lying Freemason, worshiping the devil, leading people to hell. Every single one of them. They don't make good men better. They take sinful men to hell. So I want you to pay attention to this Masonic lying deceiver here, throwing the 666 over his eye, wearing the satanic fez, showing that he's a 32nd degree Freemason, throwing the 666 again, standing under the pyramid, taking a Masonic certificate. This is Buzz Aldrin. And I want you to pay attention to this Satanist right here, Conan O'Brien, throwing the Baphomet, throwing the symbol of Baphomet again. And we're going to watch a short clip from these two.
I don't want to be presumptuous here. I can call you Buzz. Okay.
That's a legal name. Passport, driver's license.
And I am Uncle Coney tonight. Let's talk about this, because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about you know, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said contact light, engine stop.
It was
and
exciting.
A few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah. This was
so everything else is just silly comedy stuff. Doesn't have anything to do with this. You can watch this on your own. But he told us, you know, nobody saw it. What you saw was animation. There was no television recording it. So we're almost done here. I just want to talk a little bit more about Julian here. Here he is giving the one-eyed wink of, you know, the idol shepherd, and throwing up the one thumb, winking with the eye, speaking with his feet, teaching with his fingers. This is all about Freemasonry, I believe, this section in Proverbs. And I just want to show you this one-eyed thing is everywhere. These actors and athletes and musicians, and they're all throwing this one-eyed satanic thing. You know, politicians, Trump, Greta, you know, Meryl Streep. They've got them all doing it. You saw Buzz doing it. You know, this is Matt Groening, you know, from Simpsons. Film producers. They all do this one-eyed idol shepherd salute to Satan. And the thumb to the chin is a guard of the Order of the Knights Templar. Once again, back to the Knights Templar, to these Satanists, once again. So the bottom line is, and this is what's really sad, the American people don't believe anything until they see it on television. And that goes with all this COVID stuff too. So without keeping you any further, friends, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and cut to the WikiLeaks footage and let you watch that. And God bless you all. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Keep praying. Christ is coming soon, friends.
WikiLeaks has released more classified documents than the rest of the world's media combined.
Picking up the wound. Energetic information engaged. Light them all up.
You want to be in pictures.
That's the best? Let's say it. It's another one to print. I think that's awfully good. That one and the one before it was pretty good.
Do we have about 15 seconds?
Oh, yeah, you got a lot of time. Yeah.
I claim this land in the name of...
What do you got now? Now move.
Cut it, Jim.
Very good.
Print that. Print for
He needs to still
41.
cross this mark.
One more, please.
Otherwise, he,
Let me walk it for you. Tell me. I don't want
back in the middle of it.
41. Here's what we really need is for him to go to his left and then kind of veer back. Is that right?
No lights on the car. No lights. No lights.
Go on, boy, right away.
Headlight.
Exactly right, and it has to be. We have to be high enough so that we've got you against blue sky and not against Earth as you're coming in. You're coming in a descending approach as you get in.
Over. We can rehearse it. Said, go back and we'll rehearse it and see how it looks.
Ready? And action.
Headlight.
Quiet.
Headlight on the mic.
Ready? And action. Ready? And turn.
Use the second marker there.
Love you, nice
Well, this is a hell of a time not to.
That's right.
We're in a little deep now,
right.
fella, let me tell you.
We're rolling.
Stand by, we go.
Marker?
Yeah.
Right now. Jim, that was better.
Forget it. Wait a minute.
Sorry. The third, Steve. Okay. Cut the third.
Boy, Houston, the beauty of this place is just absolutely incredible. There's another spectacular view. The pilot who missed the crater. Watch out. Watch out, John.
Ready? And action.
Let's say it's another one to Fred. I think that's awfully good.
Did they use slapsticks on this one? Be a mic tap hit.
Hey. Action.
What the feelings of the Apollo program are, and a symbol of mankind that we can live in peace and harmony in the future.
I didn't take him all the way in. Rather than even say anything about the, I like to keep the stuff to an absolute minimum.
Peter has...
coming up down, I'll call one off the top.
Headslate. Go ahead.
But he didn't land there. He landed in the field. Whoa.
Okay, you can be the biplane coming overhead about 300 feet.
The third seat. Okay. Cut the third.
Tail sight coming up right now.
Right now. Jim, that was better.
Our rehearsal, guys.
All right, this is just rehearsal. Ready? And action.
Altitude's a little high.
I think it's been almost 10 years since we've been trying to do this. Pitch forward, get a really good view of the
You're
landing
looking
site.
great. Coming up 9 minutes. Roger, understand. Go for landing. 3,000 feet. Coming up now, I'll call one off the top.
Peter has put a mark back there where he wants you to land.
What's it look like?
5.5 pounds.
It's a tire and something.
Forward.
Is it a good spot? Good to know? Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah. Command override off. Engine arm on.
We're home.
413 is in.
Man on the moon.
Okay.
Ready? And action.
What do you think?
Well, it's not a good idea, but what were you going to do?
Ready? And action. Ready? And turn. Right now. Jim, that was better.
Forget it. Wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is this shot, right? Only then, what are you going to move around another master?
Before you get in closer? Oh no, this sequence right here. Now I'm moving to the two-shot view that picks it up from there, and then moving into a four-shot that comes back from there. As the scene progresses, we're going around. Yeah. Because I don't think you can divorce this conversation from that. It just came from 5 solid minutes of this. Very important to understand you reacting the way we would react to seeing this.
Have you had a good pick?
The cockpit arrangement associated with deploying the satellite. In this particular view, Dan is actually operating the 16mm camera, panning the cockpit. You can see Dick over there on the left. He's sort of supervising the operation. There's Dale. He's going to be handling the cameras and the switches. And I'm working from the commander's seat up front, sending out commands through keyboard and talking to the PAM and a satellite through CRT display. You can see, as I said, that was basically our arrangement. Dan sat in the pilot seat during this operation, sort of monitoring the motion of the vehicle, making sure that it was steady and that there were very few vibrations of any sort. Here's a picture of the INSAT actually being deployed from the spacecraft. You can see that the deploy went very smoothly. At the moment of deploy, there was a large thump, and as I said, the spacecraft was deployed very smoothly, and there were no vibrations or no precession of the satellite as it left the payload bay. Matter of fact, Dale pointed out that about 1 minute 20 seconds after deployment, you could see some of the jets on the spacecraft actually firing.
Okay, what you just watched was the Challenger STS-8 in low Earth orbit, 1983, with a satellite being deployed from the payload bay. Now, let's examine the video with a critical eye. What I want you to do is keep your eye on the upper right corner of the screen once the camera switches to the outside rear of the space shuttle where the satellite is being deployed.
Dan sat in the pilot seat during this operation, sort of monitoring the motion of the vehicle, making sure that it was steady.
And here we go. Now see this guy's face pop up behind the space shuttle?
Here's a picture of the INSAT.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a man's face moving around behind the space shuttle in outer space. Now I'm going to zoom in where you can get a better look. There you go. So he pops his head up, then he ducks back down, and then he raises up just again for a second.
The deploy went very smoothly.
Now I'm going to put a thermal filter on so you can see that this is not any tricks done by myself. There you go, you see him rise up, back down, and he raises back up again.
From the spacecraft, you can see that the deploy went very smoothly.
Okay, now let's zoom in using the thermal filter. And there you see him pop up. There he goes down. And then it pops back up again. And then you can also see a little bit more movement going on behind the shuttle. I'm not sure if that's his body or whatever he's moving around back there. But you can go to NASA's website and watch the original for yourself if you don't believe me. They are lying to us, people.
Today we're taking a crucial step to secure America's future in space by reviving the National Space Council after it has been dormant almost 25 years, if you can believe it. During the campaign, Vice President Pence promised that our administration, because Mike's very much into space, would revive the National Space Council And with this executive order, we're keeping that promise. Feel very strongly about it. I felt strongly about it for a long time. I used to say, before doing what I did, I used to say, what happened? Why aren't we moving forward? Today's announcement sends a clear signal to the world that we are restoring America's proud legacy of leadership in space. The human soul yearns for discovery. By unlocking the mysteries of the universe, we unlock truths within ourselves. That's true. Our journey into space will not only make us stronger and more prosperous, but will unite us behind grand ambitions and bring us all closer together. Wouldn't that be nice? Can you believe that space is going to do that? I thought politics would do that. Well, we'll have to rely on space instead. Every launch into the skies is another step forward toward a future where our differences seem small against the vast expanse of our common humanity. Sometimes you have to view things from a distance in order to see the real truth. It is America's destiny to be at the forefront of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge and to be the leader amongst nations on our adventure into the great unknown. And I could say the great and very beautiful unknown. Nothing more beautiful. With the actions we're launching today, America will think big once again. Important words. Think big. We haven't been thinking so big for a long time, but we're thinking big again as a country. So you know what this is? Space. All of this is space. A lot of room out there, right? Infinity and beyond was infinity. It could be infinity. We really don't know, but it could be. There's got to be something, but it could be infinity, right? Okay. All right.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing.
You really like attention, don't you?
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
You want me to knock you in the head?
Well, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Okay.
If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Sibrel, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator in NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
And get the hell out of the black house.
It's okay.
Well,
take your stuff and get the out. Why don't you quote me and say it's
And the shadows in the wrong place. I don't give a about all that.
Of lunar orbit being falsified.
Being falsified?
Correct. We got an unedited tape from a source at the Johnson Space Center.
Yes. Totally nonsense. Mr. Sibrel, you do not deserve answers.
If you show this publicly, you're open for a lawsuit. Okay?
God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day.